Hello, and welcome to InfoSec Insights. In the last videos, we have discussed fundamental security concepts to build the foundation. Now that we have established a shared vocabulary for the fundamental cybersecurity concepts and understand how these concepts are related to each other. Now let's turn our attention to how we can prioritize, assess, and continuously improve the security of an organization. This is where security governance comes into play. So let's begin. Security governance is a framework that supports the security goals of an organization's being set and expressed by the senior management, communicated throughout the different levels of the organization, and consistently applied and assessed. To run any business or an organization, it is essential to have established rules and regulations to avoid chaos. Imagine if every department is taking decision of its own, it will create severe business disruption. Governance principles will make sure that all the business activities must follow a continuous and measurable process. And in order to do that, one must understand the context of an organization. For example, what is the reason of the establishment of this organization? What are its business objectives? What are its mission and goals, both in long term and in a short term? So, in a nutshell, governance is the act of creating a plan on how a company will achieve a goal and then making sure that everyone executes that plan. Now, governance is the responsibility of the board and company executives. It grants powers to the entities who needs to implement and enforce security. Now, in any organization, the ultimately responsibility of the governance is on the board and company executives. Now, these folks at the top might delegate a lot of footwork, but they are ultimately responsible to ensure that plan is properly implemented. A fundamental tenet of governance is that the people tasked with it must have the authority to enforce it. After all, what good does it do to have the responsibility of something if you don't have the authority to make it happen? It must provide a way to verify the performance of the necessary security activities. This can only happen through properly defined communication channels, standardized reporting methods, and performance based metrics. If a board of directors and CEO demands that security must be integrated properly at all the levels of the organization, how do they know that it is really happening? So, some sort of monitoring mechanism must be developed and integrated so that the people who are ultimately responsible for an organization are constantly and consistently updated on the overall health and security posture of the organization. Now, some organizations rely just on technologies and isolate all security responsibilities within the IT group. If security were just a technology issue, then security team could properly install, configure and maintain the products and the company would get a gold star and pass the audit. However, this is not how information security works. It is much more than just technological solutions. Security must be driven throughout the organizations, and having several points of responsibility accountability is extremely critical. Aligning security to business strategy. Now, aligning security to business strategy is a critical aspect of ensuring an organization's overall success and resilience. It involves integrating security considerations into the core business goals, processes, and decision making to effectively manage risk and protect valuable assets. Therefore, in any organization, an enterprise security architecture is always a subset or should be a subset of an enterprise architecture and implements an information security strategy. Now, How an organization can align its security business strategy. They can follow a step by step approach if an organization is willing to align security with the business strategy. These step by step approach or can include understanding business goals and objectives. One must thoroughly understand the organization mission, vision, and strategic goals. This will help to identify the key areas where security is essential to achieving those goals. Identify critical assets and data. One must determine the most valuable assets, data, and resources that need protection. This could include intellectual property, customer data, financial information, and even proprietary softwares. Risk assessment and management. Conduct a comprehensive risk assessment to identify potential vulnerabilities and threats that could impact the business. Evaluate the likelihood of those threats and potential impact of each and every risk. Security policies and standards. Develop a clear and comprehensive security policy that outlines the organization's approach to security. Establish security standards and guidelines that align with the business objectives. Engage executive leadership. Gain or buy in from top level executives and leaders. Communicate the importance of aligning security with business strategy and the potential impact of inadequate security. Allocate resources appropriately. Ensure that sufficient resources, including budget, personnel, and technology, are allocated to support the security initiatives, which is aligned with the business goals. Integrating security into business processes. Embed security considerations into various business processes, such as product development, supply chain management, customer relationship, and more. This ensures that security is not an afterthought but an integral part of the operations. Regular training and awareness. Provide ongoing training and awareness programs to educate employees about security best practices and their role in maintaining a secure environment. Continuous monitoring and improvement. Implement a robust monitoring system to track security metrics and detect potential threats in real time. Regularly review and update security measures based on changing business needs and evolving threats. Incident response planning. Develop a comprehensive incident response plan to address security breaches or incidents. The plan should outline steps to contain, mitigate, and recover from security incidents while minimizing the business impact. Measure and report progress. Establish key performance indicators to measure the effectiveness of security initiatives in supporting the business goals. Regularly report progress to executive leadership and stakeholders. Adopt to changing landscapes. As the business landscape evolves, reassess and adjust the security strategies accordingly. New technologies, change in the regulatory environment, and emerging threats should all be considered in this process. Now, by aligning security to business strategy, an organization can create a resilient and secure environment that supports growth, innovation, and long term success. Another advantage to align security objectives, business strategy is the standardization and cost effectiveness. For an enterprise security architecture to be successful in its development and implementation, some more concepts need to be understood. Strategic alignment. In many organizations, while the IT security personnel and business personnel they might be located physically close to each other, however, they are commonly worlds apart in how they see the same organization they work in. Now, technology is only a tool that supports the business. It is not the business itself. So, A strategic alignment means that business drivers, the regulatory and legal requirements are being met by the enterprise security architecture. Security efforts must provide and support an organization that allows an organization to not only survive but thrive. One thing you need to understand, like any other support services, security is also there to support the business. It's not the other way around. Security does not mean just to put the restrictions and stop the business. Security is there so that business can do the operations in a safe manner. Business enablement, it is a process of providing the necessary resources, tools, and support to empower employees, teams, and departments within our organization to achieve their objectives and contribute effectively to the overall business goals. Core business processes are integrated into the security operating model. We need to remind ourselves that each organization exists for one or more specific business purposes. For example, public traded companies are in the business of increasing shareholder value. Non-profit organizations are in the business of furthering a specific set of causes. Government organizations are in the business of providing services to their citizens. Companies and organizations do not exist for the sole purpose of being secure. Security cannot stand in the way of business processes, but should be implemented to better enable them. Business enablement involves creating an environment that can boost collaboration, innovation, and productivity among different business units while aligning with the organization's strategic priorities. Business enablement involves various aspects, which includes technology, process optimization, training and development, empowerment and decision making, adaptability and flexibility, leadership support, communication and culture, and so on. Let's take an example. Let's say an organization's accountants have figured out that if they allow the customer service and support staff to work from home, the company might save a lot of money on office rent, utilities, and overhead. Moreover, the company insurance would be cheaper. The company might take this decision and move into this new model with the use of VPNs, firewalls, content filtering, and so on. Now, security enables the company to move to this different working model by providing the necessary protection mechanism. Process enhancement refers to the systematic approach of identifying, analyzing, and optimizing existing business processes to increase efficiency, effectiveness, quality, and overall performance. Now, the goal of process enhancement is to eliminate waste, reduce the bottlenecks, and enhance the value delivered to customers or stakeholders. An organization that is serious about securing its environment will have to take a close look at many of the business processes that takes place on an ongoing basis. Many times, these processes are viewed through the eyeglasses of security because that's the reason for the activity. However, this is also a perfect chance to enhance and improve upon the same processes in order to increase the productivity. When you look at many business processes taking place in all types of organizations, you will see that most of the time there is a duplication of efforts, manual steps that can be easily automated, or ways to streamline and reduce time and effort that are involved in certain tasks. This is commonly referred to as process reengineering. So, when an organization is developing its security enterprise components, those components must be integrated into the business processes to be more effective. This can allow for process management to be redefined and calibrated, and in turn allows for security to be integrated in system life cycles and in day-to-day operations. So while a business enablement means we can do new stuff Process enhancements means we can do better stuff. The processes we just covered are regular day to day ones. There are other processes that happen less frequently but may have much more significant impact on the security posture of the organization. Organization processes are series of interconnected activities, tasks, and workflows that are designed to achieve specific goals, deliver product or services, and support the overall functioning of an organization. Now, these processes are the backbone of how work is executed within a company and how different departments and functions collaborate to achieve common objectives. Organization processes can be categorized into different types based on their function and purpose. Some common types of organization processes includes operational processes. These are day-to-day activities that are essential for the organization to function. They involve core functions like production, sales, customer service, and procurement. Operational processes ensures that products or services are delivered to the customers and that the organization runs smoothly. Financial processes. These processes involve managing the organization finances, including budgeting, accounting, financial reporting, and auditing. Financial processes ensures proper allocation of resources and compliance with financial regulations. Human resource processes covers various aspects of employee management such as recruitment, onboarding, performance management, training and development, compensation, benefits administration, and employee relations. Supply chain processes. These processes covers the activities related to sourcing, procurement, inventory management, logistics, and distribution. These processes ensure that raw materials are procured, transformed into products, and delivered to the customers efficiently. Sales and marketing processes. These processes involve activities related to market research, lead generation, sales, advertising, branding, and so on. Product development processes. These processes covers the creation, design, testing, and launching of the new product or services. These processes involve cross-functional collaboration and innovation. In information technology processes, these processes involve managing technology infrastructure, software development, cybersecurity, data management, and IT support. These processes support the organization's technological needs. Organization roles and responsibilities. It defines the specific tasks, duties, and areas of accountability that individuals or groups within the organization are responsible for. Clearly defining roles and responsibilities is extremely crucial for promoting efficiency, collaboration, and effective decision making. Senior management and other levels of the management understand the vision of the organization, the business goals, and its objectives. The next layer down are the functional management, whose members understand how their individual department works, what roles individual plays within the organization, and how security affects their department directly. The next layers are operational manager and staff. These layers are closer to the actual operations of the organization. They know detailed information about the technical and procedural requirements, the systems, and how these systems are used. The employees at these layers understand how security mechanisms integrate into the systems, how to configure them, and how they affect daily productivity. Every layer offers different insight into what type of role security plays within the organization, and each should have input into the best security practices, procedures, and chosen controls in order to ensure the agreed upon security level provides the necessary amount of protection without negatively affecting the company productivity. Some of the common roles that you will find in the most organizations are executive management. These are the individuals who are designated as executive management, typically are those whose titles starts with chief, and collectively they are often referred to as the C-suite. These include CEOs, CFOs, CIOs, CPOs, CISOs, etc. Executive leaders are ultimately responsible for everything that happens in organizations. Data owners. The data owner or information owner is usually a member of the management who is in charge of specific business unit and who is ultimately responsible for the protection and use of a specific subset of information. The data owner has a due care responsibility, and he will or she will be held responsible for any negligent act that results in the corruption or disclosure of the data. The data owner decides upon the classification of the data that he or she is responsible for and alters that classification if the business need required. This person is also responsible for ensuring that the necessary security controls are in place. The data owners, they approve access request or may choose to delegate this function to business unit manager. Data custodians. The data custodian or information custodian, they are responsible for maintaining and the production of the data. This role is usually filled by the IT or security department, and the duties include implementing and maintaining security controls, performing regular backups of the data, periodically validating the integrity of the data, restoring data from the backup media, retaining records of activity, and fulfilling the requirements specified in the company's security policy, standards, or guidelines. System owner. The system owner is responsible for one or more systems, each of which may hold and process data owned by different data owners. A system owner or a system administrator is responsible for integrating security considerations into applications and system purchasing decisions and development projects. The system owners are typically responsible for ensuring that adequate security is being provided by the necessary controls. Security administrators. The security administrator role is responsible for implementing and maintaining specific security network devices and softwares in the enterprise. These controls commonly include firewalls, intrusion detection system, intrusion prevention system, anti-malware, security proxies, data loss prevention, etc. It is common for a delineation to exist between the security administrator responsibility and the network administrator responsibility. The security administrator has the main focus of keeping the network secure, while the network administrator has the focus of keeping things up and running. Auditor. In each and every organization, there is a department for audit. These are the people who are responsible to make sure that everything is running as per the standards and guidelines and that the company is compliant with laws and regulations. So, in this video, we have discussed the governing principles, security governance, how to align security with business strategies, and its step-by-step approaches, concept of business enablement. We have also discussed process enhancement, organization processes, as well as organization roles and responsibilities. So, if you like this video, then hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification. If you have any questions or thoughts, do mention them in the comment section. I hope this has been informative to all. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.